The Roanoke Colony. The disappearance of the Roanoke Colony is one of the oldest and most baffling mysteries in American history. In 1587, over 115 English settlers founded a colony on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. When their governor, John White, returned from England 3 years later, he found the entire colony deserted. The only clue left behind was the word Croton, carved into a wooden post. No bodies or signs of violence were discovered. Historians have long debated the cause. Theories include joining local tribes, disease, starvation, or attacks. Yet no solid evidence has ever been found. Brandon Lawson. On the night of August 8, 2013, 26-year-old Brandon Lawson mysteriously disappeared on a deserted highway in Texas. His truck ran out of gas, and he made a chilling 911 call, saying, "I'm in a field. I need the cops." When police arrived, they found his vehicle abandoned, but Brandon was nowhere to be found. His call, filled with panic and confusion, became central to the case. Despite extensive searches and national attention, no trace of him was discovered for years. In 2022, human remains identified as Brandon's were found near the area. However, the circumstances of his disappearance remain unclear. The Beaumont Children. On January 26, 1966, 3 siblings, Jane Arna and Grant Beaumont, left their home to spend the day at Glenoak Beach in Adelaide, Australia. It was a bright summer afternoon and the beach was crowded. Witnesses later claimed they saw the children playing with a tall, blond man. But after that, they were never seen again. Their disappearance shocked the entire nation and triggered the largest search in Australian history at the time. No remains, suspects, or clear evidence were ever found. The mystery changed how parents across Australia viewed child safety and remains unsolved to this day. Over half a century later, the Beaumont Children's disappearance continues to haunt investigators and the public alike. The Sodder Children. On Christmas Eve 1945, tragedy struck the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. A fire broke out late at night. 4 of the 9 children escaped, but 5 Sodder children vanished. Strangely, no remains were ever found in the ashes. The family's ladder had disappeared, the phone lines were cut, and there were reports of strange men in the area earlier that evening. Over the years, several people claimed to have seen the children alive. The Sodders spent decades searching, even putting up a billboard offering a reward. Despite countless theories, the case was never solved. Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa, one of America's most powerful labor union leaders, vanished without a trace on July 30, 1975. Hoffa was last seen outside a restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, where he was scheduled to meet 2 men with known mob connections. When he didn't return home, massive investigations began. The FBI chased thousands of leads, but no evidence or remains were found. Over the years, rumors have claimed he was buried under stadiums, incinerated, or disposed of in secret mob operations. In 1982, Hoffa was declared legally dead, but his disappearance remains one of the most infamous unsolved cases in U.S. Flight MH370. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur with 239 people on board. Less than an hour into the flight, it lost contact with air traffic control. Radar data later revealed it veered far off course before vanishing over the Indian Ocean. A massive international search, one of the most expensive in aviation history, found only a few fragments of debris washed up on remote islands. The aircraft itself was never located. Theories include hijacking, pilot suicide, and sudden mechanical failure, but none are proven. The disappearance of MH370 shocked the world and left families in agony. Even a decade later, it remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries of all time. Madeleine McCann. 3-year-old Madeleine McCann vanished from her family's vacation apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, on May 3, 2007. Her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, had left her asleep while dining nearby. When they returned, Madeleine was gone. The case exploded into international headlines and became one of the most heavily investigated missing person cases in modern times. Numerous suspects were questioned, but no conclusive evidence ever emerged. In 2020, German authorities identified a prime suspect, a convicted sex offender, but the mystery remains unsolved. D.B. Cooper. On November 24, 1971, a man calling himself D.B. Cooper boarded a plane from Portland to Seattle. Mid-flight, he handed the crew a note claiming he had a bomb and demanded $200,000 and 4 parachutes. After receiving the ransom, He ordered the plane back into the air and parachuted out over Washington state at night. He was never found. Despite an FBI investigation lasting 45 years, Cooper's identity and fate remain unknown. Only a small portion of the ransom money turned up years later. Was he a skilled professional who got away or a man who died in the wilderness? The D.B. Cooper case remains one of the most legendary unsolved disappearances in U.S. history. Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, a trailblazing aviator, disappeared on July 2, 1937, while attempting to become the first woman to fly around the world. She and navigator Fred Noonan lost contact somewhere near Howland Island in the Pacific Ocean. Despite a massive search effort involving the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard, neither her plane nor remains were ever found. Over the years, theories have ranged from a crash at sea to survival on an uninhabited island, or even capture by Japanese forces. None have been confirmed. Earhart's disappearance remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries, symbolizing both her courage and the enduring intrigue surrounding her final flight. Thanks for watching the video till end. Hope you like our ideas. See you in next video.